All right, folks, good afternoon. Today we're going to be covering lesson 2.3 virtualization containers. Starting off with the first topic is going to be deployment types, which refers in which software application is installed and made available by the use of end users. Three of the most common ones which are known are the personal and the desktop. This deployment type involves installing an application on a single desktop or laptop computer for use by an individual user. The application is not typically shared with others. Just an example, hey, I got apps. I have an app on my desktop or my laptop, which helps me give maintenance to certain equipment at the warehouse, and I'm able to, fix things virtually on the device, clearing out the errors and getting it up and going ASAP. Especially during shift while everything's moving at a quick pace. And the next common one is a corporation or on-premise. The deployment type involves installing the application on a server located within an organization, own data center, or on-premise infrastructure. The application is then made available by the use for use by employees of the organization, i.e., for example, an allocation tool, which is used on some sites, which help just staff, associates that pertain to that warehouse at a quicker rate, especially as they're coming in, and especially sites that have 100 plus employees coming in at the same time frame. All you have to do is scan them. They're in, and they're assigned their position for the shift for that day. But it's a tool that's used on premise, and it's different at every site, and it's shared within that site on their servers. Then on top of that, you also have the third most common one is the cloud. The deployment type involves hosting the application on a remote server that are accessible over the internet. The application can be accessed by users from anywhere, and the infrastructure is typically managed by a cloud service provider. Hey, just as a quick example, once again, hey, especially when it comes to upper management, hey, the cloud is where a lot of the tools that upper management uses the kind of, it helps them control the flow and everything having to do with the shift overall, and even the staffing and whatnot pertaining, and it's information that it's easily accessible through the cloud, and anybody could view it that's at that level as well, that has that access. The next thing I'm going to be covering is going to be technologies such as virtualization, emulators, Docker containers, which can be used to facilitate deployment and improve applications scalability and performance. And starting and going on to the next one, which involves virtualization, which creating a virtual environment that emulates a physical computer, allowing multiple operating systems and applications to run on a single server. Next item I'll be covering is going to be emulators. Emulators are software programs that mimic the behavior of hardware devices or systems, allowing applications to run on a different platform. And moving on, which I'm going to be covering is Dockers. Docker containers provide a way to package a application and its dependencies into a portable, lightweight container that can be run on any platform that supports the Docker runtime. And next item is going to be cloud. Cloud provides infrastructure and services for hosting and scaling applications, allowing them to be accessed by millions of users from anywhere in the world. And next item will be scaling. Scaling in technology refers to the ability of a system or application to handle increased workloads or traffic without compromising the performance and reliability or functionality. Scaling can be achieved by adding more resources such as a server, storage, or processing power to the system, or by optimizing the existing infrastructure to better handle the increased demand. And just thinking about that in a smaller scale, hey, you need to output a stronger performance, get a stronger computer, and you'll be able to process something at a higher rate. Um, uh, Last thing to mention is, hey, to run an application anywhere and to manage it for millions of users, you just need to be consider deploying it to a cloud using containerization technology like Docker. This approach allows you to package your application along with its dependencies into a container image that can be run on any platform and supports the Docker runtime. You can then deploy the container image to the cloud platform and use auto scaling and other features to maintain the application's performance and availability as usage grows. And that'll be it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you again for your time, and you have a good evening.